Hey there guys, it's your boy MicMix, and welcome to another Vinland Saga chapter review. This week we got chapter 167, I believe. Yeah, and boy, it was a good one. So, first things first, the original translator seems to be gone. So we don't get the chapter translations immediately. We get them after 4 or 5 days. And they're fan translations. They're good ones, but still. Anyway, so this chapter had a lot of interesting things, a lot of interesting moments. I would say it felt kind of short. It felt kind of small, but quite a few things happened. So, number one, Thorfinn's nightmares have come back. Or rather, they never left to begin with. The chapter opens with the classic imagery of Thorfin struggling. We have Thorfin trying to climb this dark cave, this dark pit, and you have all of the dead, all the corpses, the people he killed, dragging him down. And for the very first time, Thorfinn mentions that at the end of that pit, it's Vinland. When he gets to Vinland, he'll be at the surface. So he's still haunted by the ghosts of his past, which is a nice callback to the farmland arc, actually. I love that. I love that. And we have Gudrid next to him. She's like sleeping, and then she's trying to calm him down. There's a nice little detail where he's like, no, Thorfinn's like, I'm gonna go and sleep with the sheep, which kind of shows that he's really considerate about like other people's sleep. He doesn't want to mess Carly's or Gudrid's sleep. He's considerate. He likes him. He wants to take care of him. Gudrid, she is wholesome. What can I say? She's next to him. She is trying to help him. She's snuggling with him. She's saying like, "Oh, you smell nice," whatever. These are really nice moments, and I'm glad that we have them, because one of the major criticisms in my previous video was that, well, we don't really have any Gudrid and Thorfinn scenes. We kind of jumped to their marriage immediately. So we have that. We have some interaction between Gudrid and Thorfinn. These are really cute scenes. I really like them. And we're getting there. We're getting to the point where I can see them as a couple, and I can see the chemistry between them. I still need some more wholesome scenes. Now, the second part of that, of this chapter, was the planning of the trip. I like the fact that it's very realistic. You have Leif, who's like, this is the plan. We need to get to Greenland, and we need to get to, then we need to get to the continent, which he means Canada, obviously. And then we need to go here, here, and then finally here to get to Vinland. So he draws this map, and he's being pretty open about it. Like, we can't go now because the sea is frozen during the winter. So we have to wait another year, or at least several months, until our characters go to Vinland, which is a really interesting thing. I'm going to talk about it later. And Thorfinn talks about how they need to get more people. They need to get people from like Greenland. So while they're waiting for next spring, that's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be preparing their trip. And they mention how difficult it's going to be. Einar seems to be the guy who will take care of the crops, because he says, oh, we need to have the first harvest as soon as we get there. We need to go in the spring, plant everything, and then by fall we need to have the first harvest so we can survive the winter. Because, yeah, when they get to Vinland, That's it. They're on their own. There is no help, no supplies. They need to make. They need to survive on their own, and especially since the sea will be frozen, they won't be able to have any reinforcements or supplies. So we kind of have an idea of what Einar will be doing in the future arcs. He'll be the guy that will take care of the crops. He'll be responsible for the production, let's say, in Vinland. Seems nice. It's cool to give him, like, again, it's a callback to the Farmland arc, which is amazing. I love that. I love the Farmland arc. And I also like the end of this chapter, we get everyone gathered together and we get this, Vinland gang type of thing where it's only the characters that will impact the story later, because we could have other characters, or we could have Ilva showing up. We don't need that. We need the basic characters talking about their trip, planning, and getting these interactions between them, seeing how they interact with each other. An important thing to note, Thorfin mentions about going to, like, Greenland and recruiting people, which, when I first read this, I was like, yeah, definitely, they need more people. But why was that, like, brought up? Why is this almost like a mini arc? It feels like it's a mini arc. Someone will have to go, one of the members of the group will have to go to Greenland and just get people to come with them. So I'm thinking maybe there is someone in Greenland. There's a last member of the crew we haven't, like, met yet. This could be a new character. Maybe it's a girl, maybe it's a guy, we don't know. Who will fill, like, a role in this group. But the interesting thing is, what if it's not a new character? What if it's a character we've seen before? And I have made a small list of characters that have appeared in the past, and they could appear in this next few chapters. Because I believe the next couple of chapters will be preparing to get to Vinland, or possibly even Knut chapters. Because we haven't seen Knut past time skip. We haven't seen him, how he has grown, or what his appearance is like, or how he's doing. Anyway, so for the next couple of chapters, we're probably going to Greenland. And who are we going to meet there? Well, there are a couple of choices. Sigurd. We have Siggy. He could be in Greenland. And maybe he's a completely different person. Maybe he has grown. Maybe he has another reason to go to Greenland. Maybe to go to Vinland. Maybe he has grown. Maybe he has another reason to join them now. Maybe he has a family. Maybe he wants to explore the world. Maybe he wants to build something like his father did in Iceland, and he wants to make something like a small kingdom, so to speak. I don't know. So Sigurd, possible. Another possibility, which I don't quite like, it's Garm. He could be in Greenland. He's a character who just appeared for one arc and then disappeared. And so far, he's the only character to ever do that. No other character has only been in one arc. That's just Garm. So maybe we're going to get him back. I don't know what role he could fit. Maybe Garm has changed. Maybe he's not the same, violent little boy we met back in the War in the Baltic arc. So who else? And then other characters which are possible, but still I'm not quite sure. We have Father Willibald. We don't know where that guy has been. We haven't seen him since the prologue. So I think it would be, like, amazing if, hey, what if he has been preaching in in Greenland. Who knows? So he could be a character. So he's a possibility. Who else? Possibly even characters like Atli. Atli, we haven't seen him in a while. Askeladd told him, go somewhere, become a shepherd, have a farm, have kids. So maybe that was foreshadowing of Atli joining them. And you could have a redemption arc for him too, for becoming a thief, I guess. I don't see Thorkel joining them. I don't think Thorkel will be in Greenland. And I think he's more tied to the Canute story. There are many, many, many possibilities about who they might encounter in Greenland, who might join next. It might be a girl. It might be Anne. Oh God, I wish it's Anne. No, it's not gonna be her. The last part of this chapter was about Bug-eyed Thorfinn saying, "I'm not coming." Like, I made that clear. I'm not coming. Like, I will help you. I will assist you. I got my fair share of gold for the narwhal horns that we took to Greece. And if I just go to Vinland, I'll be throwing that away. I'll be throwing all of my riches, all of the money I earned, and yeah, I can build a life here. Which, even though I was surprised in the beginning, I was like, no, this has been his goal from the get-go. I can't remember the chapter, but there was one chapter back in the War in the Baltic arc where Bug-eyed Thorfinn made that clear. He said, my goal is to come with you to check on Leif, make sure my dad, adoptive dad actually, doesn't die and he's fine, which is a noble goal. And now he also has money. So this is not a character shift. This has been Bug-eyed Thorfinn. He has been the realist of the group. He's also the comedic, sidekick in a sense, but he has been very realistic and very honest about what he wants. And then he's like, well, Dad, you're retired, right? And Leif's like, yeah, sure. I mean, you've been injured since the War in the Baltic arc, and you can barely walk. So what are you gonna do? And then he finally lies down, and Carly, which we haven't seen him talk ever. Carly, this is the first time Carly ever says anything. He's been just like goo goo gaga this whole time. So he comes up and he's like, "You're not coming?" Like, no, whatever. So Carly can speak apparently, which I was thinking about in the previous chapter. I'm like, Carly is 5 now, and he hasn't uttered a word. Is he? He has. Okay, he may not be 5. He's at the very least 4. At the very least 4 years old. So anyway, so what do I think is going to happen with Bug-eyed Thorfinn? Is he going to stay back, or is he going to come with them? He reminds me so much of Panakota Fugo from JoJo Part 5, because he too stayed back. He was the realist of the group. I'm not gonna, throw my life away. But I feel that the way it's set up, Bug-eyed Thorfinn will come with them. And why is that? Because Leif is going to come with them. I think when Leif said, yeah, sure, yeah, he didn't mean it. He will go with them in Vinland. He has been tied with the Vinland story so much, and he can offer them so much by going with them. He can guide them. He can tell them, where to go, where to live. So I think Leif being with them is 90%. There's a 90% chance that Leif is going to go with them. And if he goes with them, I think Bug-eyed Thorfinn is going to crack. He's going to be like, I can't let you go. I have to come with you. And maybe you're gonna have a similar scene with like Narancha in JoJo's Part 5 again, where the characters leave the port with their boat, and Bug-eyed Thorfinn realizes how lonely he is without them. Like, these guys have been his family for the past 2.5 years now. So, yeah, maybe he realizes, oh my god, there's no one here left for me. And he jumps in the water and he starts swimming and he's like, wait for me. That's gonna be awesome. That would be awesome. It will be kind of a copy though of Narancha, but anyway. Final thoughts about this chapter. It really fixed some of the issues I had with the post time skip chapters, the 2 chapters we've had so far. I like the fact that the characters are back together as a group, and the focus seems to be 100% on our basic characters, main characters. I like the fact there is some conflict between them. This is nice, this is interesting. I like the fact that we get almost like a recap of what everyone's goal is. Like, I don't know if you noticed that, but we got Thorfinn's motivation, Gudrid's motivation, Bug-eyed Thorfinn's motivation, and kind of Einar's motivation in one chapter. So it was kind of a recap to get you back up to speed, saying, well, this is what the characters want. It's important in such a long story with many chapters to remember, what are these characters doing? Why are they doing this? I think the next 2 chapters are going to be either a small trip to Greenland, either a Bug-eyed Thorfinn or Hild or some other combination of these characters coming in together, going to Greenland, getting more people, recruiting people, or we could totally skip that and have a couple of Canute chapters. And when we get back to the group, 6 months have passed. So we're ready to get going. We're ready to get to Vinland. It's still possible. That's all. I mean, the chapter had 3 major beats, 3 major stories. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Do you think Bug-eyed Thorfinn is going to stay back? Do you think we're going to have new members joining in? Or do you think these are all the major players that are going to be in the next arc? I think there won't be. I think there's going to be at least one more edition. And do you think there's any possibility that Sigurd or Garm joins them? Leave a comment below telling me what your thoughts were about the chapter and where do you think the story is going to go. And I guess I'm going to see you on the next Vinland Saga chapter review. Or actually, no, I do have a Vinland Saga video coming up, so yeah. See you then. Don't forget to click like and smash the subscribe button. And have a great day, my fellow Vikings.